Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Everything is all right, all good. Okay, I'm so sorry for being a bit late. There was an issue with the traffic itself, so I was stuck in this traffic near to Kormangla. So that is the reason why I'm a bit late today, but no issues. We'll start immediately. We will not be wasting any more time. Let me share my screen with you guys right now. Okay, so the screen, I hope so, is visible to everybody. And yeah, let me just open up the collab notebook as well. Okay. Okay, Untitled 33, that was the name of our project. I know some of you guys actually told me yesterday that we should change the name of the file itself to something else. Untitled 33 looks to be a little bit depressing, or like we are working on something very confidential or something like that. But no issues. I think so. That's good for us. Okay, the more that we try to code, the more that we will be able to learn, right? Okay. So yesterday we had coded the analyze board part. Many of you guys were facing some kind of issues to understand the analyze board function itself. Did you guys try to code it up yourself? Did you guys try to code this particular part up yourself? Please let me know. Did you guys try to code it up yourself? See, and did you guys face any kind of problems while coding it up? Like some part that you were not able to understand, or maybe it was not working for you or something like that. Like we haven't checked whether it is working for us or not. But did you guys try to code it up right over there? Did you guys try to understand it? Like, see, the point of a bootcamp is pretty simple. If you guys are not coding it up, if you guys are not doing it yourself, then you will not be able to understand it, because coding is not theoretical in nature, it is practical, right? Otherwise, I would have just shown you the code and be like, okay, this particular line means this particular line means this, right? But that is not how coding actually works. The more that you practice, the better you will be able to understand it. Okay, try to practice it up yourself. Okay, if you haven't done it till now, do it tonight. Okay, that will be my suggestion. Again, I can only suggest you guys, right? I'm not getting any benefit of you practicing or not. It's up to you guys. If you want to grow, if you want to actually learn this, try to practice it up. Okay, the videos are available to you guys, right? We are not taking down the videos. The videos are still there on YouTube. You can refer back to the videos wherever you're stuck. Okay, try to do it. That will be my suggestion for all of you. So let's continue with our code, right guys? Let's continue with our code. Shall we? Shall we continue with our code, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, great. So what we need to do right now is that yesterday we had coded this particular line. If analyze board is not equal to 0, then we should come out of this for loop. Okay? That means somebody has won. We don't need to play the game anymore. Okay? So we can continue further with our code, guys, right? That is what we did in our previous class. Now, if analyze board is equal to 0, what does that mean, guys? Okay. If analyze board returns a 0 back to us, that is analyze board is equal to 0, in that case, like, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this statement, guys? We discussed that yesterday. Can you guys let me know what is the meaning of this statement? If analyze board is equal to 0, what does that mean, guys? What does that mean? It means resume game. Very good. It means either the game is still going on or it is a tie. It can mean anything, but basically it means the game is continuously going to go on. Now, if the game is going to go on right over there, then either it is going to be the player 1's turn or the player's 2 turn. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. It is either going to be the player 1's turn or the player's 2 turn. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. So how do you decide that it is player 1's turn or is it a player's 2 turn, guys? Please let me know. How do you decide that it is player 1's turn or player's 2 turn, guys? How do you decide that? Please let me know. Think about it. Think about it. Again, this is a general question itself. It is not related to programming. Nothing involved right over there. Think about the game that is our cross and zero game. When is the player 1's turn? When is the player's 2 turn? Think about it in such a way. Now we know one thing, that each player is going to play alternatively. So if the previous turn was the player 1's turn, the next turn is going to be the player 2 turn, right? And for each of the turns, we are numbering it from 0 up till 9, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So every turn, every game state, every turn has been numbered from 0 including 8. Are you guys able to understand this? Let's think about it in such a way. Let us draw it out. Where did my pen go? Yeah, here it is. So we have numbered each of the states of the game as 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, right? 0th game state means it is empty. Right now it is player 1's turn, right? If player 1 puts his O right over here, then it is the second game state, that is this. Now player 2 turn and so on and so forth. So at the 0th number of the game state, we are having player 1. Then at the next it is player 2. Then at the next it is player 3. Sorry, player 1 once again. Then player 2 and so on and so forth. So are you able to see a pattern between the chances in which it is player 1's turn and the chances in which it is player 2 turn? Are you guys able to see a pattern between the two, guys? What pattern are you able to see right over here, guys? Please let me know. What pattern are you guys able to see right over here, guys? In the turns, check if it is even or odd, right? If it is even, then it is player 1's turn. If it is odd, then it is player 2 turns, right? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, guys, right? Are you guys able to see this pattern between the two? Alternative turns it is there, right? So player 1 will always have the even turn, player 2 is always going to have the odd term right over there. So we need to check if our I. So how to check? Okay, how to check if a particular number is an even number, guys? Let me know. How to check if a particular number is an even number, guys? If it is divisible by 2, that means it is an even number. If it is not divisible by 2, that means it is an odd number. To check this up inside of programming, you use something called as the modulus operator or the mod operator, guys. Modulus or the mod operator. It looks like a percentage. It is not a percentage, guys. We are not taking up a percentage, right? So mod operator basically means that when A mod B, basically means when A is divided by B, what is the remainder? If A is divided by B, what is the remainder? Now, if you want to check that if a certain number is even, okay, for example, if we know that A is an even number, okay, so even mod 2, what will be the answer of this, guys? Please let me know. Even mod 2, what will be the answer, guys? It will be equal to 0, right? It will be equal to 0. And odd mod 2, what will be the answer of this? It will be equal to 1, right? So if you want to check that the current I is divisible by 2, that means it is player 1's, it is user 1's turn. If it is not divisible by 2, then it is player 2 turn, right? Is everybody able to understand this, guys? This is important. This is easy as well as important right over here. So what we are going to do, we are going to use an if else statement once again. Okay, we are going to use an if else statement once again, guys. If I percentage 2 is equals to 0. The microphone is actually in the exact middle of me and the keyboard. I find it very distracting and very inconvenient sometimes to code. If it is I is divisible by 2 and equal to 0, you want the user 1 to actually make his turn, right? You want the user 1 to actually make his turn. Now for the user, now think about the user, guys. Now think about the user. You are the user. It is your turn. How am I going to make a turn unless I see the board, the current game state? Only then I can make a turn, right? If I am the user, right, if I am the player 1, I'm currently taking up my particular chance. The first thing that I want to see is the current state of the game. Only then I will be able to take up my turn, right? So we are going to create a new function that will print the current state of the game for us, right? So we'll create a new particular function called as const board, and we are going to put in an input right over there, that is the current state of the board itself. Board, that is the current state of the board that we want to provide as an input. And after that, the user 1 turn. Okay, then the user 1 will make his turn on the current state of the board. Are you guys able to understand this particular statement, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this particular statement, guys? Please let me know. If it is divisible by 0, that means we are having an even number. That means it is player 1's turn. For the player 1 to actually make his turn, he first needs to see the current state of the board itself, right? So we'll create a new function. We are going to create it. We have not yet created these functions. These are two functions that we are going to create right now. Okay, the first function basically will print the current state of the board, right? A visual representation will be printed that, okay, where are the X's and O's in the current state of the board, so that I can be able to see it, understand it, and on the basis of that, then the user 1 can make his turn. Then the user 1 can make his turn. So these two functions will be creating it right now. You don't have to worry. If you are not able to understand what I'm speaking, tell me exactly what you are not able to understand. Okay, don't write no. I am not able to understand what you are not able to understand, right? So you will have to tell me exactly what you are not able to understand, and I will help you guys out. Okay, so tell me exactly what you are not able to understand. These are functions that we haven't still created. We will be creating it in just a few minutes. Okay, what is def? For that you will have to go back to the previous classes. That is something that I've already taught. Something new that you're not able to understand, can't understand after the if statement. Which if statement? There are two if statements right over here. Up till yesterday, we have already finished this. Okay, and this I've already taught it today. So if you are late in the class right now, I've already taught this. So I will suggest you to start from the beginning itself. Const board and user 1 turn, we haven't created these functions. These are functions that we'll be creating it right now. We'll be coding this. The const board function will print the current state of the board so that the user is able to see it. And user 1 turn function will help the user 1 to take his turn, to take in his input. Okay, where do you want to put your X, to edit the board list itself, to put that X right over there, and so on and so forth. So that is basically what we are doing right over here. User 1 turn is a function that we'll be creating right now to take in users input and to put it up on the board itself. That we are going to create it right over here. That is the reason why, Sarang, we have put up the break statement, because somebody has already won. So the player 1, player 2 does not need to have more chances. So we are just breaking out of the loop itself. I've told you guys yesterday. Sir, PHLY, phili function bana lo, please. I'm not able to understand what you are saying, Ahad. Okay, so let's now create first the const board and then the user one turn. These two functions we need to create it right now. So creating a function, again, basically we need to define the function, right? So def define, and we'll use the same particular spelling, because I make a lot of spelling mistakes. So I usually copy paste the words so that the function names remains the same. I'm not making any spelling mistakes. Again, this function to be able to print the current state of the board, it requires the board list that contains the numerical representation of the current state of the board. So we'll provide it with that. So board board right over here. No, they are not inbuilt functions. We are creating it right over here. Okay, we are going to create both the functions. I just used it just as an example so that I'm able to start creating the functions, right? So that you are able to understand why are these functions necessary. Okay, so right over here, guys. Now, what do we need to do? This function, okay, can you guys let me know what does this function do, guys? Can you guys let me know what do we want this function to do, so that I'm able to understand that you guys have understood it or not? Const board, what does this function needs to do, guys? This is going to be a bit tricky but very easy. It is going to be a logical function, guys, to print the current state of the board. Very good, guys. So let's do that. Print. Okay. What the fuck? I just ran it. So sorry. Disconnect. Yes. Print. And then the current current state of the board board. Okay, then so we want to use the list, the numerical list, that the numerical representation of the board, and print a visual representation of the board with the X's and O's. That is what we want to do. Are you guys able to get this? Please let me know. So let us, okay, one more thing in print statement. For example, if I try to print it like this, let me show it to you guys. Print, and then let me just put some text, blah, 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 colon. Okay. And then I want to print something else in the next line. So the board, I want the board to go below this line. Okay. I'm printing this text, and then I'm going to start printing my board, right? If I try to do this, print XOX, right? If I try to do this, as you're able to see, both the things are getting printed. Just a second, it is connecting to the runtime itself. It will take a second or two. Okay. Yeah, so as you're able to see right over here, it is going into the next line, but it is not making any space right over there. It is attached to each other. We don't want to do that, right? We want it to go to the next line, a new line itself, but we want some spacing around it as well. We want some space between the two things. So what we're going to do right over here is we're going to use something called as the new line operator, or the \n. Using \n basically means you want a new line. Okay, you want the cursor to go into a new line itself. So I run this right now. As you're able to see, we are getting space in between the XOXO that we want to print and the particular text right over there, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes, you are approximately right, Mr. Singh itself. You are approximately right. So the \n is also called as the new line operator, and it helps you print the stuff in a new line. Okay, that is what it is meant for. So I'm going to use it right over here as well. \n just to print the stuff into a new line. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do right over here is that we want to iterate over the board list to print stuff out. Now, wherever the case is that, okay, how do we want to print stuff? Okay, so let's try to understand that. In the board list, there are three numbers right over there. 1, -1 and 0. Am I right, guys? There are three numbers right over there. 1, -1 and 0. 0 basically will be represented by an underscore, guys. Okay, that is a dash. That is, there is nothing right over there. Underscore. And to use an underscore to represent a empty space, guys. That means 0. 0 means there is no x, no o right over there. Minus 1 is going to represent our x. We want minus 1 to be printed as an x, and we want our 1 to be printed as an o. Is this something that you guys are able to understand? Please let me know. Is this something that you guys are able to understand? Please let me know, guys. This is the first thing that we want to do, right? Now, this can be represented very simply, right? If we want to just print all of this out on a single line, let's assume we are having this particular list, right? 0, 1, minus 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, minus 1, 1, 0. Okay, this is our current state of the board, guys. If I want this to be printed in the exact same line in representation of x's and zeros, what is the code that I will have to write? I'll have to first create a for loop, right? For I in range 0, 9, starting from 0 up till 9, 0 to 1. Okay. If board I is equals to 0, then I want to print an underscore, right? Simple. In a similar manner, if board I is equals to minus 1, I want to print x. In a similar manner, if board I is equals to just 1, guys, just 1. Okay, just 1. Then we want to print O right over there. So this code will print this in the format of dash O X O dash O X O dash, right? This is going to be printed on our screen. What do we want? We want this to be printed in batches of 3, right? This is what we are currently printing, guys. What we want to print is dash XO dash OXO dash, okay, something like this, right? This is what we want to print. Dash OXO OXO. Okay, this I've messed it up right over here. O dash. Okay, something that I've done. I will just print it right over here. Okay, dash XO O and sorry, dash OX O dash OX O dash. This is how we want to print it up. We don't want it to be printed in the same line. We want it to be printed like this. How can we do that? Now, bear in mind, I will just put up the indexes as well. So this is at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the value of I, guys. This is the value of I right over there. That is, what was the value of I when we were at that particular location. Now, think about it, guys. At what numbers do we want to have a break? After what numbers do we want to start with a new line? Think about it, guys. After what numbers do we want to start from a new line, guys? Think about it. Come on, guys. Think about it. I know you guys are very smart. I know you guys are very smart. I know you guys can give me the answer. After which numbers do you want to print a new line, guys? To print a new line, \n we have to print. That will take it to the new line, right? After which numbers do we want to do that? After which numbers, guys? Come on, please let me know. We want to have one break right over here, right? This is one break. Okay, this is one break. Okay, these are the two breaks that we need. That is, we need a break at 2. After printing 2, we need a break. And after printing 5, we need a break. After we have printed that, that means when the value of I is 3, before printing the O, okay, just think about it in such a way. When we are at I is equals to 3, we need to print a new line and then O. When the value of I is equals to 3, we want to print the new line and then O. In the exact same manner, when the value of I is equals to 6, we want to print a new line and then our X, right? So what we are able to understand is that whenever the value of I is divisible by 3, whenever the value of I is divisible by 3, first we need to print a new line and then whatever the value it contains, right? So how to check if certain number is divisible by 3 or not? Do let me know. How to check if certain number is divisible by 3 or not, guys? Very simple, right? I percentage 3 is equals to 0. That is how we can check if a certain number is divisible by 3 or not. Very simple. I percentage 3 is equals to 0. That is how we can check if certain number is divisible by 3 or not. But there is a problem. There is one more number that is divisible by 3 except 3 and 6. What is that number, guys? What is that number? 3 and 6. Except these two numbers, there is another number that is divisible by 3. That is 0. We don't want a break after 0, guys. This is where logic comes into place, guys. While creating your code, you were able to arrive to this conclusion that, okay, if the number is divisible by 3, we want to print to the new line. But if you were not aware, if you were not concentrating, then you will have left 0 right over there. You would have been happy, oh, I got it. But then 0 is also there. So we need to be sure that I is not equal to 0 as well as your number is divisible by 3. So I should be greater than 0 or not equal to 0. Okay, both the conditions you can check. I should not be greater than 0. So I should be greater than 0. That is also fine. Or I should not be equal to 0. Any of the conditions plus it should be divisible by 3. In that case, print a new line, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have another if statement right over here. If I is not equal to 0 and I percentage 3 is equals to 0, in that particular case, we are going to print a new line. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Where did we get this point? This was the major point, guys. The rest, I am very sure that you guys will be able to figure it on your own. That is very simple. This is the main thing that will help you print the stuff, right? So, can't we just use I is equals to 3 or I? Yeah, you can definitely do that as well. A simpler way of writing this, like many of you guys have said, you guys can also write it as I is equals to 3 or I is equals to 6. Okay, you can also do this as well. It is fine. But again, while coding, we prefer not to write stuff like that. We prefer to find the logic behind it and write it like properly, because if you want in the future, if you want to scale up the project, like instead of having just 9 particular digits, you want to go to like 27 digits as well, you can do that. So again, that is up to you guys. It's fine. You can also write that as well. Okay, that's even a more simpler version of it. Definitely you can do that. Okay, so what we're going to do right over here is for I'll just remove this from my face. I'm not able to see shed. In range 0, 9, we are going to have if I is not equal to 0 and I percentage just a second, X, V, and I percentage 3 is equals to 0. In that case, print backslash n. Okay. Similarly, if board I is equals to 0, in that case we want to print underscore Control C, Control V, is equals to 1, then we want to print an O right over there. And if it is equal to -1, we want to print an X right over there. And that is how we will be able to print our entire board. And after the entire for loop, after we have printed the entire board, let's put some spacing after that as well. So let's put some spacing by writing a print statement, print \n. So that will also give us a little bit spacing after the board has been put up as well. Okay. Why are we doing code for multiplayer? Tic-tac-toe maximum capacity is 2, right? So yeah, multiplayer is basically 2 guys being able to play. Single player means 1 guy against the computer. So 2 guys and then 1 guy against the computer. That is the difference between single player and multiplayer right over there. If we guys give I percentage 3 is equals to 0, then first row will also give a 1 line spacing, right? Yes, because 0 is also I when it is equal to 0, that will also give a spacing right over there. That is not what we want. Okay, so we have coded our const board as well, as you're able to see right over there. Now our user 1 turn is needed. Okay, now our user 1 turn is needed, guys. Okay, close if with else condition. You don't have to do that. You can just have a lot of ifs as well. It is not compulsory to use if else. It is not compulsory to do that. I can have multiple ifs, right? It is not necessary that I want to have an else. Okay, so it is dependent upon how you want to use it. Okay. Okay, so now that has been done, let us now write the code for user 1 turn, right? Def. I will just copy paste the name user 1 turn. And that was also require board inside of it so that he's able to put his turn right over there, right? Please use if Krishna, see if there is a requirement in the project, again guys, again I'm reframing myself. If there is a requirement in the project for a certain topic, if I'm using it, I'm going to explain it. If not, then I've already provided you guys with the Python notes. Everything related to all this in a lot of depth and to an advanced level is already covered in the notes. Please go and study from the notes itself. If it is required in the project, because we don't have a lot of time, right? So I cannot go on teaching because this can branch out into if else, if else if, then you are having your nested if else statements, then you are having your switch statements. I cannot go on teaching all that. Otherwise, then the project will never be over. That is the reason why I provided you guys with the notes. Any new thing that I'm teaching, coding right over here, I will be explaining it. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Where is your notes available? Anand, I've already said, right? Day 1, I have put it in the day 1 video in the description of the video itself. Okay. Okay. So now we want to write the code for the user 1's turn, right? So what the first thing that the user 1 is going to do? Give the input where he wants to put his particular like turn to. Now for the user, again, Python takes his numbers from 0 to starts counting from 0, right? Python is a 0th index programming language. It starts counting from 0. But our user is not a Python, right? User does not start counting from 0. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Python is a zeroth index programming language. It starts counting from 0. But user does not start counting from 0. It starts counting from 1 itself, right? It starts counting from 1. User starts counting from 1. So even if we are taking up, so POS, I'm creating a new variable position. I'm taking the input from the user, input input. Okay, what is the input that is required from the user? Enter X's position. ENTER, enter X's position. Okay, that is the input that I want from the user itself. Now I have to convert it into a particular, like first of all, I need to convert it into an integer, right? Because this is going to be a string. It's an input, right? I need to convert it into an integer, and I will have to give a hint, okay, to the user 129. Okay, so right over here, POS. How to convert a position from our string to an integer, guys? Can you guys let me know? How to convert POS from a string to an integer, guys? Can you guys let me know? How to convert it from a string to an integer? Can you guys let me know? I've already taught you guys that. Int POS. Amazing, guys. Int POS. Right now, I'm going to give you guys the first attendance for today's class. Again, we are going to continue with our class. The class is not over. We're going to continue with our class, guys. I'm going to give you guys the first attendance for today's class. Again, we might be having multiple attendances. I don't know. But if you miss out on the second attendance, if I take it up, then you will miss out on the complete attendance for today. Okay, so right now I'm sharing the first attendance with you guys. Then we'll continue our code. We'll finish up the user 1 turn. We'll finish up the user 2 turn. And we'll finish up the multiplayer game today itself, so that we are able to start with the AI portion from tomorrow. The attendance link is in the live chat exactly at 9:11. The attendance link will be closed. At exactly 9:11, the attendance link will be closed, guys. At exactly 9:11, the attendance link will be closed. Attendance link is in the live chat, guys. At exactly 9:11, the attendance link will be closed. Start filling up your attendance, guys. Start filling up your attendance. At exactly 9:11, the attendance link will be closed. Am I being very clear with it? At exactly 9:11, the attendance link will be closed. Vandana Thoke, open your eyes. You should be able to see the link. If you are late in the class, then you will not be able to see the link. Sure, Fari, let me know. Okay, Vandana, then is there a problem with your eyesight? Get it checked once. Print this if board is equal to 0, else minus 1 if board is equal to 1, else 1. Yeah, that will also work. That will also work. There won't be any issues with that. You are overcomplicating this statement, okay, but it's fine. It will work for you. Okay. Sir, किसको certificate मिल गया? Boot camp is not over. How will I be able to give you the certificate? Think about it. Think about it. The boot camp is not over. 7 days are not over. How will I give you the certificate? That's fine. That she can change, right? That she can change. That is just a particular problem with using -1 and 1. So that is not a big deal, right? So don't we need to pass I in function in the current board? No, why? I is something that we're creating in that particular function itself, right? Sir, I have a question. Can you differentiate between data science and data engineering, and also between data analytics and business analytics? What the fuck? Okay, so data science has data analytics under it, data engineering under it. Both of these are subparts of data science. Business analytics is a subtype of data analytics. So that is how it goes. So it is like data science, data analytics, data engineering. Under data analytics, you are having business analytics right over there. सर मुझे इंटर्नशिप करनी है फ्रंट एंड डेवलपमेंट की. लेट मी नो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज डू यू ऑलरेडी नो. आई विल लेट यू नो इफ यू आर क्वालिफाइबल फॉर एन इंटर्नशिप और नॉट. ओके. Sir, can I plus 1 percentage 3 also used to change lines? Yes, but that will overcomplicate your code. But yes, you can actually use it. Free internship कब start होगा? So we have a very small team of volunteers that will be reaching out to you guys for the free internship, and they will be guiding you throughout the entire process. So for AI engineering, we also need to learn web dev. No, not at all. There is nothing called as AI engineering. ये पता नहीं कहाँ से तुम लोग नया नया term इजाद कर देते हो, भगवान जाने. You have to study data science properly with an expertise in artificial intelligence, with experience of at least 1 to 2 years working in a company as a data analyst or a data engineer. Then you are qualifiable for a position like AI engineer or something like that. Okay. HTML CSS JavaScript. HTML CSS JavaScript में internship है ना, दुनिया के किसी कॉर्नर में नहीं मिलेगा. For guys, please try to understand it. Right now, a 10th standard student in CBSE is learning HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you are expecting to get an internship on the basis of learning HTML, CSS and JavaScript, that is just not possible. Okay. So is it good for doing internship in first year? Internships are always good to do. Always. It adds to your experience. Companies want experience because no matter how many projects that you do, the actual skill set that you gain is in the companies itself. Okay, for AI, DSA is must, absolutely a must. You don't have an option right over there. Trends of full stack versus data science in the industry. The trend is very simple. These two are going to have immense placements till the time when we require it. Our batch, जब तक हमें हम लोग को jobs चाहिए तब तक के लिए तो बहुत jobs हैं and very good package as well. But data science is usually higher packages are given to good colleges. Off campus, getting a higher package is really very difficult in data science. Whereas in web development, no matter from which college you are, if you are very good at it, then you are going to get higher packages. Okay, so web development and software engineering plays the same role. Please try to understand it. When you join a company, no matter if you're joining in data science or in web development, they're going to call you as software engineers. Okay, SDE1, SDE2, SDE3. That is how it goes. That is the nomenclature. Software engineering is not a separate topic. For a software engineer, he can be working in the company in web development. He can be working in the company in data science. He can be working in application development. That companies decide. You don't get to decide that. You can only study a particular topic like full stack or data science just to get into a company. After you are inside of the company, actually that knowledge is next to nothing. Like that knowledge is not something that you're going to utilize. Everything that the company needs, they will be training you from the scratch. You are learning data science, you're learning full stack, you're learning data structures and algorithms just to get into a company. That is all you need to understand this, guys. This is as simple as that. Okay, so right over here, guys, let's continue with our particular program. Sure, Samir, definitely do that. That is the reason why we have created it. Okay, so first what we need to do is we need to convert our position from a string to an integer, as many of you guys have stated, int and then POS. That is how we convert our position from a string to an integer, guys. You guys are able to understand this particular statement? Please let me know. सर फर्स्ट इंटर्नशिप के लिए कितनी पाइथन आनी चाहिए? तुम पाइथन का भगवान भी होगे तो भी पहला इंटर्नशिप नहीं मिलेगा. लैंग्वेज, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, लैंग्वेज की बेसिस पे किसी को इंटर्नशिप नहीं मिलता. लैंग्वेज बहन 11th स्टैंडर्ड का बच्चा भी पाइथन पढ़ रहा है, उसको इंटर्नशिप दे दूं? तुमसे बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ रहा है, वो पूरा 12 महीना पढ़ रहा है पाइथन, दे दूं इंटर्नशिप? नहीं होता ना ऐसे. टेक्नोलॉजी के बेसिस पे होता है, उसका सिलेबस है, डीएसए करना पड़ता है, तब जाके इंटर्नशिप्स मिलते हैं, ऐसे नहीं मिलता है. Okay, we'll answer these questions later on, guys. Let's first try to complete our user one's turn, guys. Okay, now what do we need to do? We have got the position, right? We have got the position. Now, if the user has entered something like 0. Or if the user has entered something like 10, right? That does not exist on our board, right? The position we are taking up from 1 to 9, right? We are taking up the positions from numbers from 1 to 9 from the user, wherein 1 basically means the 0th index, 2 basically means the first index, 3 basically means the second index, and so on and so forth. 9 means the 8th index. Anything except that which does not exist, that means the user has entered a wrong number. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. If the user enters anything, any other number except from 1 to 9, that is a wrong move. That is a wrong move. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. That is a wrong move right over here. So how can we make sure that we are able to state that up, guys? Or let's take up another example. If there is already an X at that particular position, or already an O at that particular position, that is also a wrong move. For example, I entered POS as the position as 3. That means board at the index 2. There is already a 1 or minus 1 right over there. That means again it is a wrong move. That means again it is a wrong move. How can we tackle this up? Okay, very simply, we'll just put it up right over here. If board POS minus 1, guys, again because Python counts from 0, but we are taking the user's input from 1. So whatever the case is, we need to take it as a little bit less, guys, right? 1 minus karna padega to get the index right over there. Okay, is not equal to 0. That means there is a X or an O right over there. In that particular case, we have to stop the game. So we'll print wrong move, and we'll stop the game by writing a break right over here, break. So that will stop the game for us. We'll write a break right over there, so that will stop the game for us. What do you guys think? Will break stop the game for us, guys? Are you guys able to understand what I did right over here? Board POS minus 1 is not equal to 0. Are you guys able to understand this particular part? That why are we doing this? Or why is POS minus 1 happening? If you're not able to understand, focus a lot more in the class. Well, I've said it almost 5 times. We're taking the position from 1 to 9. But this is index. Index starts counting from 0. So we need to reduce the value of POS by 1. So that we are able to get the index right over there. Okay. Now if you are using a break, this is not going to shut down your code. This is just going to make you come out of this particular for loop. There's not even a for loop right over here. So there's nothing that is going to happen, guys. This is not the right code. Break is used to come out of a for loop, guys. Here, what do we want to do? We want to end the game. We want to end the program from running. For that, the particular code is exit 0. This is the code. This code will close the game for us, guys. This code will close the game for us. This will end our code from running. So we cannot use a break. Again, break is to just come out of for loops. We don't have a for loop right over here, guys. We don't have a for loop that is there, guys. Okay. So exit 0 will help us end the game right over here, guys. Are you guys able to understand exit 0? Please let me know. Now, if POS minus 1 is equal to 0, that means there is an empty space right over there. We need to update it. So board and then POS minus 1 is equals to minus 1. As simple as that. That is what we need to do. We just need to update that, okay, at that particular position, there is a X right over there. So we'll update that position with whatever the user has given as an input with minus 1. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. We'll update the value right over there with -1, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Archit Jain, I will answer all these questions in our tomorrow's class. Please focus upon the class right now. You are not at all focusing upon the class. I will answer all these questions tomorrow, guys. Yes, exit 0 is an inbuilt function. Exit 0 is an inbuilt function. Again, if you're not asking something related to the code, I'll answer that in our tomorrow's class. Right now, please focus upon this. Okay? Okay, great, guys. So, in the similar manner, if it is not the user's one's turn, then it will be the user's 2 turn, guys. If it is not the user one's turn, it is going to be the user 2 turn. So else, same thing but with the user 2. Same, because this is multiplayer, so same thing but with the user 2 turn itself. Now we will have to write our code for the user 2 turn. So user 2 is basically our O, right? We'll copy paste this exact same code. We don't need to change a lot. Copy paste this exact same code. We'll call this as user 2 turn. Now user 2 is going to use an O right over there, right? He's not going to use an X. He's going to write an O right over there. Vaishali, again, anything not related to what we are doing right over here, ask it in our tomorrow's class, not right now. Focus upon what we are coding. Okay, so enter O, guys, right over there. Now in this exact same way, we have to update it with just 1. Okay, when we want to update, because this is O, right? We are not talking about X. So we want to update BOS position -1 with a 1, not a O, not a -1. We are having an O right over here, right? This is user 2 turns, guys. This is user 2 turns code. It's the exact same thing. We are taking in the input from the user. We are converting it into an integer. We are checking if it is a wrong move or not. If it is not a wrong move, we are updating the value in our board list. We are updating the value in our board list, guys. Are you guys able to understand what we have done up till this point of time? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand everything that we have done up till this point of time, guys? Please let me know. रोहन शिंदे, तुम्हारा बात का तो कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, तो तुमसे बात करके फायदा नहीं है. बाकी लोगों का मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि आर यू गाइस एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? प्लीज लेट मी नो. If not, let me know exactly what you are not able to understand so that I'm able to help you guys out. Okay, so what we need to do right over here is we are going to complete our code. So now all the turns have been taken up. Let's assume all the turns have been taken up, guys. So we need to now finalize if it is a win, then who has won. If it is a draw, then what, like it's a draw, right? How can we do that? Now we have come out of this particular loop, guys. We have come out of this entire thing. This entire thing that is there, we have come out of it. All the players have taken up 100% of their loops. All the players have taken up all of their turns, guys. Player 1 has also taken up all of his turns. Player 2 has also taken up all of his turns. Right now, we need to provide the answer that is it a draw? Is it a win? Then who has won? Because everything has been done. All the players have taken up their move. We have got the final state of the board right now. We have got the final state of the board right now. So how can we tell if it is a draw or who has won or not? Please let me know. How can we tell that if it is a draw or who has won right over there? How can we tell that? Please let me know. How can we tell that, guys? Please let me know. In which domain are you working right now? I'm still working as an MLE itself, machine learning engineer. Analyze board function, very good. The analyze board function has been made just to tell us that who has won. Is it a draw? What is the scenario? Right now, nobody else is going to take up any more chances. The game is over. So even if it is returning 0, there is no more chances left for anybody. That means it is a draw. Initially, we talked about this, right? That analyze board giving us a 0 right over there. We don't know if it is a draw or is there any more chances left. But right now, all the users have taken up their chances. We are outside the for loop. All the 9 steps that were there, we are outside that. That means everybody has done all his putting up all the X's and zeros. That means if analyze board is returning a 0 right now, that means it's a draw. If it is returning us -1, that means X player has won. If it is returning 0, that means the O player has won, and so on and so forth. So we are going to do that itself. If analyze, yeah, I think so. Board, BOARD, board is equals to 0, print DRAW, draw. Else, if analyze board BOARD, board is equals to -1, print I can directly use an else as well. Player X, sorry, player 1 has won, right? We have to use player 1. Okay, so here we are using something new that is called as elif. Elif is the short form for else if. Usually we used to directly write else, right? But there are multiple conditions right over here. Here we require multiple conditions. We require to check for O, that is for 0. We require to check for -1. We also require to check for 1. So we have multiple conditions right over there. So either you can use all if statements if you want. What I have done right over here is that the first I've used an if statement. If this is not true, then and only then check this particular statement. If this is also not true, then else print player 2 has won. Player 2 has won. So what will happen right over here is that if this statement is not true, then and only then check this particular statement. If this is also not true, what is the last particular option available? It has to be 1. It has to be 1 right over there. Right, so player 2 has 1 will be printed right over there, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this 3 lines of code? I know else if is new for you guys. Else if is basically you are having an else statement with an if statement. That only if the upper wala is false, only if the particular condition above is false, then and only then check this particular condition as well. And if this is also false, then just print the last particular statement. That is what is happening right over here. Okay, so let us run the multiplayer game right now. So I will just run this to check if everything is working fine or not. We're going to select the multiplayer game because we haven't written the code for the single player game, guys. We're going to write 2 right over here. Current state of the board is printing not in the right direction. I did something wrong right over there. There is a coding error, that means. Let us stop this. So as you're able to see, there is some coding error inside of the current state of the board that we are printing right over there, guys. Printing right over there, there is a current problem right over there, guys. It is printing every single thing in the new line. That means there is a problem with our const board, guys. There's a problem with our const board. Let's try to figure out what's the problem. Okay, let's try to figure out what's the problem, guys. Okay, so here, first of all, we need to add some spacing right over here, guys. Okay, we need to add some spacing right over here. And we need to add a subset as well, that is end and then a space. Very good. For those who pointed it out, I don't know how you knew this. I have not yet taught you guys that. But very good right over there, guys. We need to provide an end right over here. End is equals to and then space. Now, what is this going to do for us? Right now, whenever you use a print statement, right, it will start printing from a new line by default. Whenever you use a print statement, as we have already seen down below, right? Here, when we use the print statement as an example, we saw this, that even without this, it is printing the new stuff in a new line. That means the end of every statement is a new line itself. We want to change that. That we don't want stuff to go into the new line. Okay. This particular text will end with a spacing right over there. We want spacing between the X's and O's. So we're putting up a space right over there. So this will help us make sure that we are having, like, things are not going into a new line every single time, and we are getting a right thing as well. So let us put this right over here. Let us put this right over here as well, and a little bit of space right over here and here, and we'll save this, and we'll rerun our code once again, guys. We'll rerun our code once again. So again, we'll go into the multiplayer mode. Again, it is showing us a problem right over here. Again, there is a problem. It is printing everything in a new line. Why is that the case? Okay. Let me try to understand this. If I is not equal to 0 and I percentage 3 is equal to 0, print \n. The rest of the stuff is fine. There is a problem right over there. Let me change this to be greater than 0. Let me check if that is the issue right over here or not. Okay, debugging is also a big deal when it comes to coding, right? So I'm trying to debug the problem statement right over here, trying to find out what is the issue. Yeah, circuit minds, we can definitely do that. No issues in that. Let me disconnect and reconnect the runtime. Yes. Rerun this. Print for \n indentation. There's an indentation error. Single \n. If I is greater than 0 and I percentage 3 is equals to 0, then print a new line. That is absolutely fine. Then what is the issue that is happening? Why is the end not working properly? Okay, there's some problem in the particular code that I'm not able to understand. This shouldn't be an issue. Let me put it up in a separate thing and let me check it out separately. This shouldn't be a problem according to me. Okay, maybe, yeah, that might be an issue right over there. Let me check it out. But still, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, but yeah, this got into the for loop. Okay, that was the issue. The print \n got into the for loop. It should be outside the for loop. That was the major issue right over there. Let me rerun this. I think so. It should work absolutely fine right now. Yeah, now it is working absolutely fine. So let us enter the X's position right over here, guys. So we'll put it up at the middle position. Then the O's position, we'll put it up as first. Then we'll put up the X at 3. Then we'll put up the O at where should we put up the O? Let the X win. Okay, we'll put up the X at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th position right over here. Okay, so player one has won. Okay, so we are able to see this, that this is working. We should also print the current state of the board along with who has won. That is also something that we should do. We are directly getting that the player one has won, but we are not showing that, okay, yes, the player one has won. We are not showing all the current state of the board. So that is something that we should do. So we'll add one more line right over here, guys. We'll add a particular const board. BOARD. So this will print the board once so that we are able to see that visually as well who has won. Okay, as well as we are printing who has won right over there. Okay, so the problem that was happening with our code, I think so you guys must be able to understand. The print backslash and backslash n, just to make the spacing between the boards and the text itself, that went inside of the for loop. So it was an indentation error, like many of you guys have been able to put it up properly. So that is very good that you were able to see that. I was not able to see that right over there. Okay, so that's good, guys. That's good. That's excellent. So the code is working for the multiplayer itself, guys. Now only the single player code is remaining. The single player code will take us at least 2 days, 3 days to complete, because that will require a lot of knowledge in min-max algorithm as well. So we will be able to understand it. For becoming a machine learning engineer, you need at least 1.5 years of experience in the industry. You need to have worked. So I've worked as a data analyst before that. I worked as a data scientist after that. I had great skills in data structures and algorithms. That is the reason why I become a machine learning engineer. I had over 1.2 years of experience as a data analyst and a data scientist. That is the reason why I got an opportunity as a machine learning engineer. Okay. So try to code everything that we have done up till this point of time, so that only the single player game is remaining, and we'll continue from right over there, guys. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Again, all the questions and queries that you are having, we'll answer it on our tomorrow's class, and we'll continue from right over there. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.